Now in this video we have a JSON file, web services, and I will leave the file in the description. This is an information about the JSON API version and email version, email void, and that stuff. And then we have some nodes here, only one node, users. Okay, and each user have some keys, and each case have some key value pairs. And we need to make a bot that will read a specific information from this, for example here, first name and last name. So let's check how did we do it. We just created a simple bot to read a JSON file. Okay, now it works. Message box for all the user in the first name and last name. So there is two options for looping through the values inside the JSON. Here if we know the count, how many nodes, or if we don't know the count. Let's start by if we have known the count. So we created our program here into two steps. The first step to grabbing JSON node and loop through the list. So we use here the REST web service from here, REST web service. Okay, and then we use the get method. And get method, we just specify the location or the URL for our JSON API. And then we need to read and extract this information and save it into a variable. We can save it using a dictionaries, but this time we'll use multiple variables. So we'll click multiple variables here and add variable mapping. Now the key that is JSON will return named body. So I need to save this information into a new variable, and I labeled it as JSON key. So I'll just add a variable and write here, type here body, and here create a new variable like this as JSON name. Okay, so our first step here to use REST web service and just copy and paste our URL and then save the output as a variable mapping. I will map the body into our variable as JSON key. And then from JSON here I will grab start session, and here from the file I don't have a JSON file, but just I have already extracted the information of the JSON of this web service into my variable JSON key. So I will specify here text and just insert a value and use my variable JSON key, and my session is default. So what I did now, just I extracted the information from here, all the information, and saved it in my JSON key variable. Now I need to access some node inside my JSON file, and this node's name is users. So to access this value, we write $$.users. Okay, and I need to save the output to a new variable. I called it L for list users. This type variable is list. So all the users right now is saved into my list users. Okay, and then I ended my session, just grabbing end session, and then I need to loop through each value inside the my list. So I used here the iterator as for each item in the list, and which list is previous list that I have already created users, and I want to loop all the item in the list and assign the current value as is user JSON. Okay, and then I started a new session here as well. I used as a text and s user JSON, and then get node value, but here I want to extract this username first name. For example, here I will extract this key first name and save it into a new variable as first name, and same for my last name, dollar sign dot last name, and save the output variable to a new variable s for string last name. And then I ended my session, and just I opened a message box to display the first name, my variable first name, and the last name like this. Okay,